Hey guys, it's Viejo here, and we are into the second week of January already in 2024, and we've had some cool weather here on the central coast of California and been breezy and whatnot, but it's tolerable. Hey, today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to make some 45 Cowboy Special brass, and we're going to make it out of 45 Colt brass. 45 Cowboy Special has been a round that's been around for quite a while. It's hard to get brass though lately. Let's take a look at the brass itself. We're going to compare it here to a 45 ACP case. They're effectively the same case volume and same overall length, although the brass themselves are quite different. We've got, you know, a rimmed versus a rimless case and some other differences. And so they're not really interchangeable. There's the 45 Cowboy Special from Starline over there on the right side, set up against a 45 ACP case on the left. And you can see, you know, there's some obvious differences. The 45 Colt case is larger diameter at the base. If we turn these over, a little bit bigger base, okay. But the dimensions of the case mouth are real similar, okay. And the length of the cases is effectively the same. As far as factory-made 45 Cowboy Special brass, I have only seen it come from Starline and only available direct from their website. A lot of folks like to shoot the 45 Cowboy Special, including me, but the only source has been Starline brass direct from their factory. I've never seen it on any of the other reloading suppliers' websites. Doesn't mean it's never been offered. I've just never seen it anywhere else. But anyway, Starline hasn't had a run of that Cowboy Special brass in quite a long time, many months, and it just hasn't been available. But you can make it. It's possible. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It takes a little bit of equipment and stuff. But that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to make 50 rounds of this 45 Cowboy Special. That would be every bit as good as brand new factory 45 Cowboy Special, but we're going to use 45 Colt cases as the parent. All right, let's get into it. Okay, what you're going to need for this job, obviously you're going to need some brass. Okay, this is 45 Colt brass. You know, if you got a lot brass with a lot of splits in the case mouth, that's fine, because we're going to trim these down quite a bit, down to about the length of a 45 ACP case. Some kind of a saw. This is the Harbor Freight Drill Master. Okay, you can see the item number there. They're not too expensive. They work. The blades don't last a long time, so if you need to go buy one of these, get yourself an extra set of blades. They sell them in a 3-pack. There's various ways of holding the case here. This was a 3D printed one that I got from a guy on eBay. As it came to me, it didn't work. It's just really kind of rough printed. It wasn't a real good print job, I didn't think. It had kind of an arch over the top here, ostensibly, I think, to hold the case down as kind of a safety thing. But it was so poorly printed that the case wouldn't even get through it. So I had to cut that off, and even then the channel here was a little fat. I had to work on that a little bit. And the case fits in there such that the saw cuts it off, I think, too long. Okay, we got to trim from a little over an inch where this thing cuts down to about 0.8967, someplace in there. Okay, and again, so that's leaving us quite a bit to cut off, but nonetheless, it can get the job done. I had previously, you know, used just kind of a rudimentary jig here that mounted up here, and it worked okay. It didn't really work any better than this does, and neither one of them work great, but they do work. We're going to need some sort of a case mouth tool. You can use these, but you also need a trimmer. And I'm going to be using the Hornady trimmer here today with a little power screwdriver on it. And we're also going to make use of this guy to chamfer and deburr our cases when we're done. And you need some eye and hand pro on this too when you're running that saw and the trimmer. This brass goes everywhere. Okay, so the way his jig works is we come in here and lay a case in here. There's a little notch there for the rim. And his piece trims us out to right at an inch, which is really way too long. Okay, I'll do a couple more here on camera for you. You do want to have eye pro for this, you guys. I mean, this throws brass everywhere, so. Alright, so you can see it cuts through there reasonably quickly. I found that these blades get dull pretty fast though, so I have a couple extras on hand if you're going to do a lot of this. But the next step then is to come over here to our trimmer. So I found that the saw leaves enough of a burr on the inside diameter of that case that it won't fit the pilot here on my trimmer, so take it over there to the case prep center and take a little bit off the inside of that. Okay, chamfer it a little bit, slides it up easy in there, and then we're going to trim all of that chamfer off anyway. So and you can see in there how much we're trimming off of here. It takes off quite a bit. We got from an inch down to about 0.895 that we got to trim. What's that, 15 thousandths or so? 1500ths, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it speeds up, so you can tell by the sound and the feel when it's done. And then we'll go over here and chamfer and deburr those edges. And a little bit more. Yeah. So it does a pretty nice job. Takes a while, but it is what it is. Let's do one more for you. So again, just a kind of a quick deburr on the inside, or chamfer rather, on the inside of that case to help it come up over the pilot. This little guy isn't bad. It works pretty well. Yeah, done deal. Okay, I'll just go ahead and finish them up. And just like that, we've got about 50 pieces of good usable 45 Cowboy Special brass. There we go. Then we got 50 pieces of this nice 45 Cowboy Special brass, and we made it ourselves. It's all exactly the same overall length. Well, there might be a 1,000th variance or something like that. It's up to your trimmer, right? And it didn't take too long. It took me maybe a couple hours or something, start to finish, and clean up and everything to cut these down, get them trimmed to the right length, and then chamfer and deburr. That's the steps that we did, as you saw. So I hope you enjoyed that, got something out of it, maybe give you an idea, something you might want to try at some point. But from the Viejo bench, for now, that's all she wrote.